How's everybody doing? You guys are watching Healthy Tech. Today, I want to talk about using the LG Wing in 2023. What my experiences are. Do I have fun with it? Is it a bad phone? There's a lot of things to talk about, but I'm going to pick the most important things. I try to keep these videos as short as possible. They could be 30-minute videos, but I know the algorithm prefers shorter videos, so let's get to it. LG Wing is a really fun phone, and it's one of my favorite phones of all time. Now, one of my favorite things you can do in this phone is the multitasking. I'm a huge YouTube guy. I'm always on YouTube. You can be a YouTube at the top and then Chrome at the bottom. You can also use this to control your YouTube. You can hit play. You can go forward, backward, adjust brightness, volume. Super cool. There's no other phone better for watching YouTube than this phone. I don't care if you have a Fold. This is the only way to watch YouTube. It's a multitasking beast. It's a really fun phone when it comes to that. So I use it daily just to watch videos. Super fun. You guys won't regret watching videos on this thing. Now, using this thing daily, you're going to realize that there's a couple of things that might bother you. And the biggest thing for me is the LG keyboard. I'll be honest with you, this keyboard sucks. This is just based on my opinion. If you like your LG keyboard, that's on you. And if you enjoy it, do you. But this is my opinion. It's my video. I don't like it. I think it makes a lot of mistakes. Now, you miss out on using it at the top and the bottom, which is something that you're gonna miss out on, especially if you want to use the phone to the fullest. You'll miss out on that. You can put it at the top, you can split it, you can put it at the bottom, but at the end of the day, I don't really use it. So what I do is I just go to my LG and disable it, and I stick to the Gboard. The Gboard seems more accurate. The emojis look better. The GIFs and all that stuff is more available. All the stickers are there. I prefer it, so I'll stick with the Gboard. On the other hand, one thing that is amazing is the POLED display you get on this phone with a 1080 by 2460 pixel resolution with 395 ppi density. Beautiful, beautiful display. 6.8 inches, you get a lot of screen to body ratio. Now, if you sweat a lot or if you keep it in your pocket and the phone gets wet wherever you're doing your working, this display for some reason starts touching and opening all kinds of apps and sending messages to people you don't want to send messages to. Just keep that in mind when it gets wet or you're sweaty or it's in your pocket. It's a little messy, but the display is gorgeous, and I just fall in love with this phone every time. Now, the phone isn't just a multitasking phone. It's got a nice camera to it. Triple camera setup with a 64 megapixel main sensor, and you get a pop-up motorized camera that's 32 megapixels. That looks nice and does the job. You know, LG cameras were always known to have those manual modes when other phones didn't, and you just had the ability to make things like this. LG, you know, they were pioneers in the camera department with ultra wides and sensors and things that you've never seen before. So really fun camera. It's in today's world, it does the job. And on top of that, they added a mode that works with the LG Wing mode, which is a gimbal. Now, the gimbal is a really fun feature if you want to stay still and record left or farther right or higher above you, something that you don't want to move and you want to stay as stable as possible. Really cool. Keep in mind, this mode I think only goes up to 720 pixels. You can go to 1080p. Pretty disappointing. You get dual recording with the pop-up camera up there so you can record yourself and whatever you're doing in the background. Maybe you're trying to do a reaction video or something fun or a project, but the camera holds up in today's world. You will have to have a lot of fun with it, and if you want a phone to become a content creator, this is like $300 phone, and the camera is cool enough and worth it to be able to take care of you, and even in this rain. Now, daily driving this phone will show you a lot of weaknesses, and one of the biggest things, in my opinion, is the battery life of this phone. The battery life is awful. You get a 4,000 milliamp hour battery in there, which, I'll be honest with you, it's really bad. I haven't used it as my main phone in a little while. I think I went for a full month to do my testing because I was on my OnePlus. I've had it before, but it's been so long. So I think it was like at the beginning. I stopped at the beginning of August, and I will probably average around 3 hours of screen on time. I mean, I'm a heavy user. I'm a very heavy user of the phone. So this is based on people who game a lot on the phone or who use it almost all day or have YouTube in the background. But by like 10 a.m., I'll be honest with you, I'll probably be like a 60% after getting up at 7 a.m. So The battery life on this phone, in my opinion, is really bad. So carry a portable charger around or something. Now, I know there's a lot of you guys that like the game. This is one of my favorite games that I played on all ultra settings. It's called the 7 Deadly Sins game. Really fun. It's my favorite game right now that I play every single day. And the game is actually one of those games that's very graphically demanding, and it's not able to run on a lot of things. But with the Snapdragon 765G, you're able to play. You're able to have fun. I mean, honestly, I really enjoy playing with this phone because you get a bigger screen to body ratio, and this game actually doesn't look this good even on my OnePlus, just because of the screen to body ratio. It just makes it fun. It can get a little warm, and the phone's not the greatest cooling, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more, but you can game and have a lot of fun with this phone. So you guys can watch. You can stick to watch the rest of this little gameplay, but it's really fun. Now, you guys just watched me beat the brakes off that dude, which I just did. I want to talk about the phone is up to date, and a lot of people want to say, oh, don't buy an LG phone. They no longer make them. They're up to date. If you got a Wing, if you got a Velvet, if you got a V60, you guys are up to date. You haven't had to upgrade. LG stuck to their promises, and the phones are still viable. So if you want to get an LG phone, keep in mind, they're up to date. They might not be so viable next year, but this year they still are. So, at the end of the day, they're good phones. And my experience with this phone and Android 13 has been fantastic. One of the last things I wanted to talk about was this phone with this app called Accu Battery, that it can't overheat, and you guys can keep track of it in this app, and you can keep track of your battery life and all that cool stuff. So my battery life right now is 77. That's only based on 3 charges because I just activated it a little bit ago. It'll go up eventually. But this phone, in Florida weather, keep it in my pocket and working outdoors, it gets too hot. I can't even use it. The other day, I was working outside and I tried. It was so hot. It was just ridiculous. I had to swap my SIM card again, and my journey with the phone ended. Look at these fingerprints. Let me wipe these out of the way. So, fingerprints are awful on this phone. Just keep that in mind. Other than fingerprints being awful and the battery not being the best and the phone getting very hot, it's still viable in 2023. Give it a try, guys.